Okay. Um, Thank you for coming to my channel. Another video. I know I've done a lot of stories on immigration. However, this one is a little different on it. Immigration, the American story. This presentation will explain why the promised pathway to citizenship, rarely exists in practice. The focus is on legal structure and systemic incentives, not individual political actors. No major legalization law in regard to immigration has passed since 1986. Immigration reform is discussed often, but consistently stalls before becoming law. Politicians frequently discuss it, but rarely enact it. There are not even any written bills that have been shown. Proposals are introduced and debated and used in campaigns, but nothing has been passed or even shot down in Congress in nearly 40 years. Most undocumented immigrants do not qualify for an ex- existing legal category. Re-entry bars and limits waivers make getting in line legally impossible for many. That's where they say, get in line, wait in your time, do it your right way. For some people, that is not possible. I'm not saying that breaking the law is right, but I'm saying there are problems. There are barriers to getting your legal immigration in the United States. One second, I got static again. As I was saying again, some have no qualifying family relationships. No employee sponsors. And the visa that people have been using is changing. Asylum was a big thing that was used under the Biden administration. One second, I got static again. Am I too close? One second. Testing. Okay, here we go. Under the Biden administration, asylum was used to allow many to enter the country. However, that is not possible. There's a 3 to 10 year wait for reentry bars some people that may have some issues with immigration. That's why you see many people doing what these people are here, walking through a dangerous desert, being guided by people that do not care about them, only see them as money and bodies for money. U.S. immigration law is built around a few narrow categories created decades ago. Long term residents often do not fit any of these categories, even after many years here. Immigration is a powerful tool for campaigning, fundraising, mobilization, and voters. Oh, I'm sorry, and mobilizing voters. So getting people voters to participate in several things, such as you see a lot of people out here protesting in the streets. If immigration reform was to pass, it would remove a political valuable issue that can be used every voting season by politicians. So they keep something a problem so they can run on every year. Under Barack Obama, programs like Daca offer protection, but they do not create a permanent status. Many people that got their citizenship under Daca did it under their own accord, with lawyers finding a way to help them get their citizenship. But these actions such as DACA and temporary protection can always be challenged and reversed by administration. Remember I said that. They can be challenged and reversed. So basically they want a right to let a bunch of people in, and then the right to turn around and reverse it and then kick a lot of these people out. You let a lot of working people in, let them work for a while, and then kick them out. If you look hard enough, you can see it. So Congress has expanded enforcement measures for decades. Legal pathways for long-term undocumented residents have not expanded along with them. Over the last 30 years, Congress has passed more border enforcement laws, more deportation laws, more criminal penalties. So what is the goal here? We do have a drug problem and also a human trafficking problem more dangerous. As you can say, a lot of those kids that were brought onto the border, they found some of them, pray for them. I wonder what happened to them. You just don't give children to people, say, I want the kids, give me the kids, I'll love them. I don't care if they speak the language or not, that don't mean they're treating those children right. But it's a bigger goal here. The goal is to have big business profit from disposable cheap labor. And that goes back to what I said. Just like under programs like DACA, you can let a lot of people in, come in and work. Then you bring in a different administration that's going to reverse everything and then kick all those people out. Disposable cheap labor. They cannot complain. Some industries benefit from vulnerable low-wage workforce, and so do people. Immigrants pay more for less when it comes to housing and employment. And yes, they do get tax benefits and stuff. They do get health care. Well, in California, they get health care and stuff. And some would say they pay more than what they bring in, which is true. But in the long run, if they don't get their citizenship, they will bleed their family dry or have to go back to their country of origin. Lack of status limits workers' ability to assert right, reinforce systematic incentives. So, like if an employee knows that a person is not a citizenship, they know that they can treat them a certain way, because who can they complain to? Look at the image here. We got workers working in the kitchens, farmers out in the field. I understand to be out there hot in the sun. They have improved some of the water, but they should have rotating. It's just more improvements that can be done just to make little things better. But that ends up in cost. And they always say, well, the cost is going to get passed on the consumer. No, people are making billions of dollars off these people's back. Political messaging and promise pathways that the legal system does not provide. The gap between rhetoric and law explains why the pathway rarely materializes. Few become citizens. It's a hard path, but not impossible. It's not impossible. So just to kind of repeat, whenever you hear a politician say pathway of citizenship, they're just hustling you. Ask them for a legal document to where they've written it out, their plan for a path of legalization. Ask for a copy of their written plan. That's if you truly care. Because some of these people protesting, they're paid to protest, or they just want to go and yell at people. Thank you.